How will Lamar get along with his new young OC?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you just straight to the point. If he at OTAs, if he at there in the offseason, they have a fucking great relationship.
Agreed.
If he's not there, then it's gonna be a rocky road, baby. But you see, Doyle is saying exactly what the fuck I've been saying, bro. It gotta happen. If you're gonna say you a champion, I want to be a champion. I want to do this. We need to be a championship team, bro. Doyle, no, he been around. It start in April, brother. It gotta start in April. And if Lamar there, that's gonna make everybody be there. And that's gonna be the standard. That's where you create the standard at in April, May, June. You know what I'm saying? So I like how Doyle came out and set the tone right then and there, man. Put my expectations out there, and this is what I expect. If we do this, we could be a good team. If Lamar don't show up, then I can't promise y'all shit. You know what I'm saying? So I love how he started, man. But it's black and white to me, bro. If Lamar pull up, they have a great relationship. I'm telling you, he a young guy. He know what he talking about. He ready to work. Lamar, he'll fuck with that. He gonna fuck with that, and he gonna love the offense that this guy put in. So he just got to be willing to sacrifice that time at home and go do what the rest of the quarterbacks in the league do.
Yeah, so I agree 100% with what Doyle said. I just don't know if calling Lamar out publicly was the right way to go about it, especially when you're trying to build this relationship early on. This is a conversation that you could have had privately with Lamar and still emphasize the importance of OTAs in the offseason and these extra reps without having to indirectly call him out. You know, the way that he said, if you say you want to do this, you say you want to do that, well, then you better be here. You know, you've only been with Baltimore for a short amount of time. I just didn't know if that was the best way to do it. But either way, I still agree with what Doyle said. And the reason that I agree is because of everything that Aqib just mentioned. Those reps, those 2 months during OTAs and minicamp are so important to build that relationship and to build that trust between a quarterback and a play caller. This isn't another year with Todd Monken to where you know the offense and you can miss the offseason and then come back in minicamp and fall camp and hit the ground running. This is an offseason with a new scheme, with a first-time play caller who's only 29 years old, who I believe is going to want to have a lot of input from Lamar, and they can collaborate when it comes to building this offense instead of Doyle coming in and saying, this is what we're going to do. I believe that if Lamar's there for OTAs, Doyle can come in and say, hey, this is what we did under Ben Johnson. This is what we did in Chicago with the run game, play action. How do you like that? Tell me some of the things that worked well here with you and Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers and the tight ends, and they could collaborate on this offense and build something together rather than it just being a dictatorship where Doyle comes in and runs everything. But if Lamar's not there in OTAs, they can't do that. That's going to be too difficult to try to do for a 3-day mini camp, and then in fall camp, you won't have any chance. So, yeah, I don't, like I said, fully agree with Doyle maybe calling him out in the media. I know he didn't say Lamar's name specifically, but he indirectly, called him out by saying, you've got to be here because Lamar hasn't been in OTAs in recent years. But either way, I think the message is hopefully going to be received by Lamar. Hopefully he doesn't take it the wrong way and he does show up for OTAs, because if they do want to make a championship run, Doyle and Lamar are going to have to build that relationship, and that's going to start in April rather than starting in fall camp in July.
And I think the message, bro, is for Lamar for sure, because you're the leader. But it's for everybody though. You know what I'm saying? If they say they want to win championships, if they say they want to do this, then shit, y'all gotta be here. It's for everybody. So when Lamar not there, that makes some guys there in and out, some guys there the full time, other guys is not there. Lamar ain't there, I ain't there. So that caused you to have a season like you just had. So I think he for sure was talking to Lamar, but he talking to all the leaders on that team, though. I don't think he was just talking about just Lamar. That shit was directed at everybody, man.
And one other thing with that, I think real quick, sorry.
I expect players. I expect players to be here. Players with an S. I expect players to be here with an S. He talking about.
There's been a narrative around Lamar about missing OTAs, so everyone knew indirectly who he was talking about.
Lamar ain't the only one who missed, though.
Lamar is standard in Baltimore. He's your leader. He's your franchise. Exactly. He's the guy. You just said it perfectly. If Lamar's there, everyone else will want to be there. If Lamar doesn't show up, then they can be like, all right, well, Lamar's not there, then maybe I'm not going to show up. Some guys don't have that luxury, but some of the other starters could do that. Another thing I think is important and why he wants them there is because first impressions are going to carry a lot of weight. Lamar needs to be there for those first meetings. I know Doyle's not the head coach, so he's not going to be in front of the entire team. But when you're an offensive coordinator, you're going to be in front of the entire offense, and they need to see if he's a leader of men, if they can trust him. You say it all the time, Aqib, when I come in, is he going to be a guy that I sit up and listen to and respect, or is he going to be a guy that I'm on my phone and not paying attention to? So if he can, do that early on in those first couple of offensive meetings with Lamar there during OTAs, I think it'll set the standard for the rest of the year and what to expect coming from Doyle going forward.
Well, I'll tell you what, calling me out in the media ain't one way to learn my trust. That's kind of like you snitching a little bit. Like you telling everybody that you want me here. You know what I'm saying? But it is important for a quarterback to be there. You know what I'm saying?
You want him to ask you, can you be there? Fuck all that, bud. We grown-ass men,
you ain't gotta ask me, but you gotta tell me, like, I'm the franchise quarterback, right? You the newbie in this thing. I know you the OC, but hey, pick up the phone. Hey, Lamar, this is very important for you to be here. I know you missed last year. You missed the year before. But everybody going to follow you and do things a certain way based on what you do. You pick up the phone and have that conversation. What is you telling the media for? Now,
also,
go ahead.
Also as a pro, bro, he is a professional coach. They asked him the question about people's attendance in the offseason. He answered the question, bro. Shit, if I would expect players to be here, if they say they want to win a championship and that's going to be their standard, then I expect them to be here. What's wrong with that?
You know how they make sure players is there in OTAs? They put that workout bonus in their check. That's what make players come to OTAs more than anything.
Hey, but Lamar got that workout bonus.
He got a great workout bonus.
Except for one person, that's the quarterback. So whatever reason why Lamar don't want to come to OTAs, me personally, I just feel like that was the wrong way to go about it. Yeah, you may have been talking to the whole team and to the other players, but we know who you're talking about specifically. We know exactly who you're talking about. You're talking about your quarterback because you're a young OC. You need him there to be productive. Like Cody said, this is the most important time of the season. It's like your quarterback, if we're talking about college terms, not doing spring ball at all. Yeah. And he just going during spring ball. That's crazy, right? Like you always talk about leave. You got to be there if you want to go the long haul in this league. You got to be in OTAs. You got to build that camaraderie. You got to build that timing. We got to see you in the weight room. We need to see that you a warrior in there just like us. You're not just the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So that's what, like, I agree with Cody just saying that I think he went the wrong way about saying what he wanted. Now, as far as him being a general, being a leader of men and all this other stuff.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. One saying we want a general, then another saying we want a personal text message saying, hey, you going to be here in OTAs. Fuck all that, bro. I'm the general. He asked me a question about OTAs. Shit, I expect everybody. Let me go be a D coordinator right now. Leave. They don't be here in OTAs. How you feeling? Well, shit, if they want to win a chip, I expect everybody here. Simple as that, bro. I'm putting it out there. I'm a general. I'm putting it out there. I expect everybody to be here. If we going to learn and master this system and compete for a championship, it only happened one way. I'm answering the question, but I'm putting my message out there. I thought it was the perfect time. What other time to give a message to the entire team? You know what I'm saying? Then right now, bro, what the expectations are. So I don't know.
In front of the team,
in the locker room,
in front of the team.
I mean, Lito, there's ways to work around questions. He could easily said, yeah, we expect everyone to be here. Hopefully they can be, and we're going to do everything we can to get guys here for OTAs. But obviously,
it doesn't sound like no general. That sounds like a sucker.
But that's in front of the media. Then you go behind closed doors when you get to those offensive meetings and those team meetings, and then you can say, "Hey,
general don't shit behind closed doors.
Less is more with the media. Less is more.
Generals that mic in their face and be generals, bro. I want all my soldiers here. Yeah, simple as that, bro.
And maybe if he's a vet,
keeping no secrets, bro. I need everybody here.
If you're a vet, you've been around for a while and you've earned that respect, and there's a level.
29, bro. You ain't done nothing more. Lamar did more in this league than you ever done. Period. So it's a way you don't mean nothing. It's a respect thing. I feel it's a respect thing, and you coming in already.
Tom McVay ain't going about nothing like that, bro.
Disrespectful. McVay. Now you the head guy. You got a little bit more, room to do what you want to do as the head guy. But you a 29-year-old offensive coordinator, and I said this from the beginning, man. You was playing second base 8 years ago. So, I mean, how much can you really, how much do you know about this game? Like, do you really even know more than me about this game? Like, I'm questioning
what was Mike McDonald doing 8 years ago? He was punching numbers and running numbers and shit.
McDonald was in his 15 years, at least, in football. You got Shanahan. He grew up in football. You got Kubiaks. They grew up in football. He was playing baseball at JC. So, to me, you acting like something maybe you not, or you just reading the script, or you just totally oblivious to what it needs to be to communicate with this group of players, to communicate with guys in this spectrum. That's what I feel like.
If I did it, I'm gonna fuck with it. Like, yeah, see, hey, put it out there, coach. I'm there. I'll send him a message. Hey, coach, I'm there. For sure.
That's a different person. We already got that personality. You already got that person. You dealing with somebody like Lamar Jackson. Who knows why he not coming to OTAs? What's really the reason behind him not coming to OTAs?
So, Keith, how many times during this past football season did you call out Lamar Jackson for not being at OTAs and say that the football gods were getting even with him for his non-participation?
Hey,
right?
You get out what you put in, baby.
Okay. All right. So now to TJ's point, here you have a 29-year-old offensive coordinator who has never been a play caller, never called a single play in college or pro football. And again, to TJ's point, he started out in college trying to play baseball at some place called Iowa Western Community College. And he played baseball for 1 year and transferred to Iowa because his father was the strength and conditioning coach of the football team. And his father got him a job as an offensive assistant to Hayden Fry, and he got coffee for 3 years at Iowa for the coaching staff. And then I don't know exactly how this happened, but I give him this. Sean Payton did hire him to get coffee for Sean Payton for a while in New Orleans.
Barista.
And then, what's that? Yeah.
He's a barista.
He was a barista. That's all he was. But then, okay, but to his credit, when Sean did get your Denver Bronco job, he did take Declan Doyle with him to be the tight ends coach. So I'm going to give you that. And that lasted for 1 year. And then I'm going to give Declan Doyle this. Ben Johnson hired him to be his quote unquote offensive coordinator in the 1 year that Ben Johnson worked, obviously, with Caleb Williams in Chicago. But again, when you're an offensive coordinator under Ben Johnson, you're in the meeting. You know, he's the strategist, he's the play caller. So all of a sudden, a 34-year-old new head coach named Jesse Minter in Baltimore picks you at 29 years of age to be his new offensive coordinator and oversee by far the most important player in the franchise, Lamar Jackson. So obviously, to both Cody and TJ's point, when Declan Doyle, in his first ever big press conference that he's ever had in his whole life, when he calls out the whole team for being at OTAs, obviously most people are going to translate that into Lamar, I need you at OTAs. That's going to be your starting point because he's it for that team. And then here's the quote that I got to read that you guys didn't mention. So in his opening press conference, he said he had critiqued all of Lamar's game film from last year, and he was talking about the play that was called from the coordinator to the huddle to Lamar. And this is the quote from Declan Doyle. He said, that first play can be more consistent at times with his eyes, with his footwork, within the system. That's kind of what I noticed watching the tape. And the point is, Declan Doyle is saying Lamar too often doesn't actually execute the play that the coordinator called, that too quickly he breaks the pocket or decides to do something else that was not called within the confines of the play that the coordinator chose. So again, that was a pretty ballsy quote publicly to say that at age 29, having never called a play in the National Football League about a guy who could have been a 3-time MVP, because obviously he could have won it a year ago, going back a year over Josh Allen. So the point is, this guy's coming in with guns firing, man.
This guy sounds really privileged.
Yeah,
that's
he does.
What he sounds like really privileged. Silver spoon. Now your buddy come give you the OC court. Come on, man.
I don't know, man. I just, Lamar might be sitting at home right now saying, seriously? Him?
Like what kind of pro do that though?
Do
what kind of pro do that? Well, you calling me out? You saying that my eyes ain't right on the first play? Like, bro, what kind of pro do that though? You know what I'm saying? If somebody feel like, if a coach feel, leave, you ain't doing this, you ain't woo. All right, and you need to be here OTA. Shit, I don't got no chips. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been to a chip. Maybe.
Yeah, but okay, but Aqib,
if I need to swallow my pride and listen to the man, regardless if he played baseball, regardless of whatever he did. As of right now, he the OC of the Ravens. That's the job that he earned himself. Is the OC of the Ravens right now, bro. So, like, come on, man. I don't know about the
privilege. Was he in that office to even make that statement? Was you in the offensive meeting room with Monk and them? How you know what it was?
But was you in the offensive meeting with Ben Johnson to say this nigga is privileged? How you know what it was? He could have been.
He must be an Einstein of football. If he Einstein of football in 1 year here, 1 year there, hey, look, Jesse Minter bring him in and see that he's the best thing.
Hey, he wouldn't be the first Einstein.
Lombardi, then I'll be wrong. But you in there be the first lose situation. You got a 2-time MVP. Last year you had a first-round overall draft pick behind Ben Johnson. Like, you in these no-lose situations. You got to be a horrific coach to even do subpar with these guys.
Nah, we seen what Caleb Johnson was. That shit was trash. And then he got a good staff in there with him, and it was the opposite of trash. You know what I'm saying? So the staff definitely had something to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, they had a little bit, the run game helped, the offensive line improvement helped, Ben Johnson did help, the scheme helped. But at the end of the day, he was still out there doing some bullshit, running around making plays with his athleticism. Was he not? He wasn't on timing for a lot of his shit. He made a lot of that shit work with his legs and his arm. Running to the sideline, dropping dimes. It wasn't like he was Joe Montana in the West Coast offense and just on slants and digs. Man, he wasn't none of that.
He was throwing stuff on time. They make it seem like he scrambled every play, but he don't scramble every play, bro. He throws stuff on time. What you say, Cody? Hit his foot and let that bitch make do that all the time. You know what I'm saying?
That quick release, stay loaded on the base. But to that point, TJ, I think Declan Doyle does deserve some credit, because when you're not a play caller, when you don't have an offense, when you don't have a background with statistics and film to back it up, you got to crush those interviews. And for him to go in there at 29 years old and have the type of knowledge and football language that he has, and he said too, he spent an hour on a Zoom call with Lamar during the interview process, and it went great. And we talked about things that he could do better and things that he can work on and things that I like. So obviously he wowed them in that factor. So there are things there that they really like. So I don't think it's, a good thing to discredit him right away. You got to give him an opportunity, because we haven't seen anything yet. Like, Sean McVay at one point was a young play caller. He had to learn somewhere. Kyle Shanahan was a young player. I'm not saying that, or a young play caller. I'm not saying that he's on their level yet.
They was offensive assistants at 8 years old. Shanahan, like, they've been growing up.
His daddy was a strength and conditioning coach in football at Iowa. You think he just ain't talked to his daddy all his life?
What the strength conditioning coach know about being in the meeting rooms and X's and O's about football, Lee? They stay in there.
DB coach in Kansas was a DB coach. Then he went to strength and conditioning. Then he went to Indiana as a DB coach.
Hey, that ain't normal. That's not normal.
It's not.
Man, I know. It's strength and conditioning coaches who play ball. It's a whole bunch of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a ton of who play ball. So I would think that kids know something about ball.
Look, Aqib, if Wade Phillips walks in the door the first day as your defensive coordinator and says, I need Aqib Talib to play more of the defense called. He can't get outside my structure. Aqib's going to say, okay, I'll listen to that. I'll accept that.
Yep.
But if 29-year-old Declan Doyle walks in, as Cody says, trying to make a strong first impression, as if he knows some things that Lamar doesn't know, I just think Lamar is going to reject that, because he's going to say, what do you know? What have you done that I haven't done in this league? I just think you need to you got to tiptoe in. You got to come in.
That's what you want them to tip. Who want to play for somebody who tiptoeing around?
I don't know.
If a new 29-year-old coach come say, "Hey, Leave could get better in this technique. He opened up too fast. He doing this. He ain't playing the." All right, if a coach come say, "Well, I know Leave's doing a great job. He's not doing it, but he's doing a great job." Well, you come
straight. You're gonna have to put it on film and show me.
I don't know no soft ass coach.
And Lee, we done had plenty of disagreements with DB coaches in the past where he gonna tell you something, you're gonna be like, come on, bro. Like, come on.
Exactly. So and once you like Joe Wood, and I'm not Raheem, they like, nigga, ain't no fucking come on, bruh. We doing it like this, and I'm like, all right, bet. I respect you for that, bruh. And the ones who I could, man, I ain't doing that. You don't know. It's okay, Keeb. It's okay. I don't respect their ass. Okay, so I might respect.
And you know why you gave them other dudes that respect? It's because
how they came.
Exactly.
No, it's because they came. They standing on their shit. I'm the coach, and we doing it like this, and I need you to buy into this technique.
But that's the thing is I agree with the message. I think he just could have done it differently. You can have that same conversation.
Texted to him, right?
They've already been contacting each other back and forth. Well, there's no difference in me texting him than saying it and him reading it on a transcript from a press conference. There's no difference in that, rather than me calling him or FaceTiming him face to face saying, "Hey, Lamar, I like all these things."
Already done that. I think he already had this conversation. That's why he's doing it, because he already had this conversation with Lamar. Baby, I need you there. You know what I'm saying? So somebody asked me about the offseason, I'm gonna say I expect them to be there because I already had this conversation with Lamar.
And then when Lamar shows up,
it's a disaster waiting to happen.
We had a great conversation. We agree on a lot of things. Lamar's here. I appreciate him trusting me and being here. And now we can build this thing brick by brick and get things going because he's a great competitor.
All right, watch. Now watch. Lamar gonna be there for OTAs for the whole year, and them motherfuckers gonna go
win another MVP.
They're gonna go. The Ravens gonna be in the Super Bowl. The first year Lamar there for the whole year OTAs, the Ravens gonna be in the Super Bowl. Watch what I tell you.
I hope so, man. I want Lamar to get one.
So Lamar ain't never been to no OTAs.
I do too.
He been, but the last 2 years he ain't been.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he was actually there for 1 day this past year. He was there for 1 out of 9 days, I think it was.
He might as well not even came to that shit.
Yeah, okay.
He forgot some. Oh shit, it's OTAs.
So Akib, are you picking the Ravens? Right, if you have to make an early pick, are you picking the Ravens to win it all?
And I ain't picking them right now. I'm picking the Broncos right now. But if Lamar Jackson have 99.9% attendance in the offseason like Tom Brady do, the Ravens gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're picking the Broncos now and next year, and for the rest of your life, you'll pick the Broncos every year.
It ain't like that, Skip.
Yes, it is.
That. The Broncos, did they not have to prove to me too? For the first 3-4 weeks, I didn't pick the Broncos to win the Super Bowl, did I? They had to prove to me. I really watch them, so I really was watching that team. So by like week 4, I was like, hey, Skip, the Broncos is really on something. I'm telling you, they really on something. So they had to prove to me too, Skip. I'm like you, Skip. I just say what I see.
Okay. Yeah. What you saw was Joe Burrow got hurt and was gone, and that ended that.
But that AFC gonna be hot.
Broncos fucking balling too.
That AFC gonna be hot this year. I tell you that.
And I just say what I see, Skip. I'm just trying to be like Skip Bayless, Bayless.
Exactly.
You feel me? I'm gonna get my next tattoo gonna say Lee Bayless. Cross my forearm.
Yeah. F that. That's what I said. F that.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on then. We gonna move.